Robinson takes Kent to a commanding total. The county ground in Northampton played host to its opening fixture of the LV County Championship, with the rest of the group made up of Yorkshire, Lancashire, Sussex and Glamorgan. Just the two best teams from across the competition will make the final, so the pressure was on from the very first ball. A fast start to the tournament was a necessity, and it was Northants who were quickest out of the blocks. Kent advanced to 14 before Ben Sanderson removed Kent's new skipper, Daniel Bell-Drummond, for 9. Jordan Cox and Zach Crawley could well be a test partnership in the not too distant future, and they showed their promise, negotiating the difficult start to give Kent a foothold. Crawley, though, could go no further. Gareth Berg found his edge and had him caught behind for 14. Berg only had to wait an over for his next wicket. Denley the man to go, as the Northants man had his bails clipped, Kent wobbling at 38 for 3. Youngster Cox steered Kent past 50 just before lunch, the ex-England under-19 keeper sitting on 24 at the interval, with Kent 55 for 3. Cox continued with more impetus after lunch. Boundaries flowed and Kent were knocking on the door of 3 figures. Despite a mammoth score of over 200 last year, Jordan Cox was without a half-century heading into the match. He ticked that off with ease, as he and Jack Leaning took Kent past 100. The partnership traded shots, finding the boundary with increasing regularity, before Cox was undone by a sucker ball, chipping Nathan Buck into the deep for 62. Leaning was joined by Robinson and took Kent's total past 150, picking up a 50 of his own in the process, driving Keogh through the offside. And he would shepherd his team to the tea break, with the score on 179 for 4, Leaning not out on 62. Leaning was ably supported by Robinson, and the partnership was soon worth 50 runs. The pair guided Kent past 200 without much concern. A change of bowling did the trick for Northants though. Emilio Gay into the attack for the first time, picked up a wicket with his 3rd ball of the season. Leaning caught behind for 79. Robinson had been a good foil for Leaning though, and his hard work brought him a half-century of his own. He'd be joined by Darren Stevens, and the evergreen Kent man went on the charge and helped Kent cruise past 250 runs. This flat 6 over square leg put 300 runs firmly in Kent's sights. But Robinson would fall with the score on 296, perhaps looking to outdo Stevens. He couldn't get enough of it and would depart for 84. Kent would pass 300 before the close, but with one of the final acts of the day, Grant Stewart would be cleaned up by Nathan Buck, and Kent will resume on Friday on 309 for 7. The visitors will be the happier of the two sides after the first day of play. Handy knocks from Cox, Leaning and Robinson have put them in a good position. Northants, however, will hope to mop up the final 3 wickets as quickly as possible on day 2, if they're to prevent Kent from pushing on from what looks a decent platform.